Hello everyone. In this lesson, we are going to see types of references, sum, and if formulas, right? So, uh, what we have seen here in our previous lecture is that every formula is referencing to a different cell. Like for example, here, E4 into 5% is what is happening here. So E4 is being referenced. So this is a single reference, right? Individual reference. Now you see B4, C4, and D4. These are all individual references. So these are all single references. Right? So reference is nothing but you name it, you call it in a formula, right? So the different ways of reference. Now, for example, if I have A, B, C, D, E. Now, for example, if I want to select, if I say uh, I wanted to select only A, if I select equal to and select A, right? So which is D11, right? So D column and 11 row. So D11 is what is being referenced. So what you see here is there's no formula here. This we're just referencing it here. Okay. So now, for example, if we change it from A to K, it will change here as well, right? So this is what is a reference. Now, let's say if we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And we had all of this in this format. Okay. Now, here, this is what is the reference saying. But now let's say if you wanted to reference from 1 to 3 or 1 to 5 without selecting individually, then you have something called continuous references. Okay. So how do you do that? Is you select from here and drag it here till here. And when I click enter, okay, so it is actually this is referencing from here to all these things. Okay. So actually what I have done is there's no formula here. So this is the whole formula. Okay. Now what is happening here is this is still a reference, but it is a continuous reference. Let's say now if I have to just reference only 2 and 4, I would say select 2 and then select control and then select another, sorry, and I'll select 4. Okay, let me do that again. I say select equal to, I say select 2 and then press control and select 4. So now you see here, basically what I've done is I have referenced two non-continuous sets. Okay, so this is a non-continuous reference. Okay, so we have seen 3 type of references, which is a single cell reference, a continuous reference, and a individual reference. Okay. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to use our next formula to actually do a simple arithmetic or mathematical function, which is called addition or sum. Okay. So now, if you see here in formulas, you'll see multiple type of formulas listed here, which will come one by one. Right. So whenever you select equal to, and you can write something like SUM, right? So there will be a lot of functions which will be started with sum. So now Excel has an inbuilt set of functions that are already present. You don't actually have to uh, do every time plus this, or select everything, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same thing here, right? In the total sales, if I want to do a total sum, I'll just say equal to sum, and then you open a bracket. Right? So now what it says in the bracket is number 1, number 2, number 3, right? So first way is I'm going to do single references like 1, then how do you separate? You see here below, there's a comma. Do a comma, second one, comma, third one, comma, fourth one, comma, fifth one, and you close the bracket or parentheses. Okay. When you do that, so you can see that this is the total. Similarly, like this formula, let's say if anything changes here, like for example, from here 100 changes to 800. What happens is this changes because this has a formula, and this changes because it also has a formula, right? So having formulas will help you to actually make your sheet or your calculations dynamic. So if you want to change anything, you can easily do that, right? So next important thing is, now whatever we did in this sum function, I can remove, as I've told you, now these are single references. Now what I can do here is, if I want to do non-continuous references, like I just want to see the sum of sales of biscuits and fruits. So I select this and I select control and then I select fruits and I press enter. Now this will be only the sum of fruits and biscuits. Like for example, the fruits grew by 100 rupees. The sum will also grow by 100 rupees. So you have to write whatever you want to do, like fruits and biscuits. So this will actually help you to know, okay, this is what you wanted to do here, right? So now if you wanted to do a total, I just copy pasted it, and you want to do total, you could have done sum of. The another way of referencing is the continuous reference. So I'm just going to select everything, drag like this. So now E4 to E8. Now if I do this, it will still give me total sum here, right? So now we have understood a single reference or individual reference, a continuous reference, and a non-continuous reference, and we have tried using them here, okay? Now, what we'll try to do is, we'll also try to know if there's a function called if, which is also uh, very popular and very frequently used, like sum function. Okay. Now, in the if function, so now what we have learned is the sum function. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is if function. So now, how does if function work? For example, now, if time is 9 a.m., then start prayer. Okay. If let's say it's a school, if something happens, then do this, right? So if this does not happen, like if it's Sunday, then it's a holiday, right? So then the school is off, right? So basically, based upon checking if a condition is true or false, we can actually perform an operation, right? Meaning a calculation or any function of Excel, right? So I'll give you an example. Now, for example, let's say if we know if this total is greater than 5,000, then the business is profitable. Okay. So what we will do is, I'm just going to write is business profitable. Okay. So I've done this. Let's go to home and kind of wrap this text like how we have done previously. Now, how do I write? I just say equal to, and then I write if. Now you can see here whatever starts with if shows up. Now I click on if, and then you can see first you write a test. Now what you do, you select this and say if this is greater than 5,000. Okay, then you write comma. So this is called the condition or the logical test as shown below. And you write comma. If this is greater than 1,000, what happens if value is true? So if value is true, what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to say profitable. If this false, we're going to say it is not profitable. Okay. So now I'm just going to say for to print anything in an if condition or any function in Excel, you have to use double quotes or the double quotes here like this. Okay. Now I'm just going opening and then I'm going to say profitable. And I close the quotes and then I say comma. If it is false, I'm just going to say sorry, not profitable. Now what happened? Because this was less than 5,000, this function first checked if 11 is like greater than 5,000, then I'll say it is profitable. But because this condition is false, I'm going to say it is not profitable, right? So this is how you can use this tooltip to also help you in if you don't remember the function properly, right? So now let's say some sale grows. Let's say in January, for some reason, in February, cosmetic sales have increased to 1,000. Still, let's say we're still not profitable. See, and let's say clothing also increased by another 200. So I'm just going to say some random number, which is 300. And what happened? The total increase to 5,400. But then now the business profitable? Yes, the business is profitable. But then you did not have to actually look up what is happening here, but then the function actually went ahead and did that for you, right? Isn't that amazing, right? So this is how you use an if statement, right? And we have also seen how to use a sum function. Here, we also understood what different type of references are also there, right? So this brings us to the conclusion of today's lesson. And in our next session, we'll look at more formulas in Excel. Thank you.